Finally I'm asked to come in to the customs, and yeah, it took a while.
In this episode I can finally go ashore after the longest waiting time ever. I share my first impression of Vanuatu and also my thoughts about the hottest topic on the planet right now. To my surprise, also this time I meet Norwegians living in a tropical paradise I'm so lucky to visit.
Ja, jeg og kona har det her stedet her sammen.
Join me as I'm sailing around the world on Be Free, a Bavaria 55 cruiser. Arriving Vanuatu was really not in my plans, but right now I'm excited to visit Port Vila and to see how it is here. I had such a beautiful sailing from Fiji, and it was almost a bit sad being forced to make this stop. I have a big cyclone blocking my onward journey, and safety do come first.
So I'm so excited about having a stop in Vanuatu, and I think it's gonna be just awesome. I was not planning on stopping there, but this cyclone is once again delaying me, so yeah.
After I made the decision of making a stopover in Vanuatu, I did some fast research and found all the needed documents that was required filled in and returned minimum 24 hours before arrival. Normally this is something I would have arranged before leaving previous stop. The big difference sailing this part of the world and onward is things needs a bit more planning and research.
Finally I'm asked to come in to the customs, and yeah, it took a while. 3 days on anchor in quarantine to get cleared in is a new record for me outside the pandemic time. That was crazy times, but this is by far the last 5-6 years the the slowest check-in procedure ever. So let's see how it is, and it's kind of interesting observation. It's like it gets worse and worse. After Tahiti, then you have Tonga and Fiji. And Fiji had a lot of papers, but it was quite efficient once you were there. Tonga was a lot of papers and super inefficient when you were there. And now the interesting observation is that all the papers here in Vanuatu looks like a blueprint, just stolen all the same formulas and everything from Tonga. And what beats me is like a lot of these small nations, they make things so complicated and so much work, and now this is new for Vanuatu, and it looks like they have taken water over their head. It's too much things, and they don't have the capacity to handle it, and they don't even know how to deal with it. And I was also told I was going to have an inspection on my boat. That's why I'm at the quay anchorage with the yellow flag up before I'm allowed to go ashore to do the check-in. It's a bit wet and rainy here today. It changed on my way from boat. Now I'm trying to find customs and see if I can get cleared in here. So this is the front system in front of the cyclone that's gonna pass not that far away, but it looks now on the updates that it will go with a pretty safe distance from Vanuatu. So we'll see. There it is. This is just nuts. So customs and immigration in town was not the right customs, so away to another custom. So then I'm done with customs, and now it's immigration, but it's no one there. I was told to go here, but well, maybe someone will show up. This is definitely not the most efficient place I've been to. This is starting to be like a comedy show. And it's a lot of people here with uniforms, but no one seems to be working. I don't know what they are doing here. And I think a lot of these small island nations, they overdo it. They do it too complicated, and they generate so much paper and so much labor and so much time-consuming BS. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I look at the French islands. It's self-service, €3 and 5 minutes, and you're done. In an earlier episode, I said like from here on, I think that was in Tonga. From Tonga and onward towards west, it's just gonna be more and more complicated. So I paid the immigration. That was 4,000 Vanuatu money, and I only had 5,000, so no change. But he was going to send me a receipt on email, so we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Now I try to find the biosecurity, and it's supposed to be this building. They said yellow building at the end of the dock. So looks like it could be here. And probably another fee. Let's find out. So it's a different price if you're 1 or 2 on the boat. So I got 50% cheaper than my neighbor.
So there's an order, ministerial order in place. We have the officers conducting surveillance at night to make sure that you abide by the order.
Lots of information and mostly red tape, fines and penalties. I did not pay too much attention as I'm not gonna cruise around here. But by the sound of it, now after new rules, it's not an easy cruising ground anymore. And it's not allowed to have lights outside after dark due to a flying pest that have been spreading around the islands, threatening their coconut production. Also, malaria and rabies was among some things they fear from the Solomons and Papua New Guinea at the moment. So finally, after almost 4 days, I can take my yellow flag down. Man, this has been nuts. Finally, it's time to explore this exotic island. That's one of the most southern in the Vanuatu group. North of New Caledonia, west of Fiji and southeast of both Papua New Guinea and the Solomons. I would not expect to see so many cars in Vanuatu. What a surprise. I didn't do too much research about this place because I did not plan to stop here, so this is a bonus stop. And it's quite fun because I'm not prepared, so this is like happy-go-lucky adventure. I guess I'm not alone about being surprised by so many cars and even parking fees. This was not the first thing that was in my mind thinking about Vanuatu upon arrival. Don't take me wrong, this is only my first impression, not knowing what to expect. Only a reflection of the distance between expectations and reality. Also, this is a cruise ship destination, quite developed, and also a busy holiday destination, just as the busiest islands in the Fiji group and other places I visit throughout the South Pacific. As a sailor with the freedom we have, it always feels like you've done something wrong, ending up in a busy tourist machine with new cruise ships every second day. Difference from many other places though is that here the locals are happy with it. course, Cyclone Jasper was well covered in the news here, and my thoughts went to Australia and those having to face this cyclone.
The fruit and vegetable market here is amazing. Look at this. This looks good and it smells good. Look at this. Now I think I need to come back here. So it's around $5 for a plate like this. $5 US. It looks amazing. So also here it's ridiculous expensive to withdraw money from the ATM. So it's around 8 euros or $8 US to take some cash out from the ATM. For me that's just ridiculous. It's I mean it's digital piracy. It's one of you back. So one of the things I see a lot of places, like even in Fiji and Tonga and other places, and now here in Vanuatu, is so expensive. And the reason is Australians and New Zealanders and foreigners, they kind of push the price up. And I talked to some locals here, they cannot afford to buy a home here because the price has increased so much.
Also here, it looks like China secretly is overtaking the nation, as if it was part of a long-term strategy. I know Australia and New Zealand also do contribute a lot financially to the islands in this region, partly as a strategy to keep the Chinese on a safe distance, but also as pure business combined with giving aid for financial growth and developing. Without the help from Australia and New Zealand, I believe lots of Pacific islands would struggle. So it's easy to understand the relationship and even the influence here as well. The people of Vanuatu seems to be thankful for this. I know I basically see nothing of what Vanuatu can offer, and even though it's a busy tourist island I'm staying at, it's kind of growing on me. I mean, it's sort of exotic in itself to look out this bay. The only sailboat I can see now is Be-Free. I guess it's fair to say I can be a bit philosophic now and then, and I love to just sit down to think and reflect. And right now it's about all the islands I have visited in the context of maybe the hottest topic at the moment, even here in Vanuatu. Not far from here is a mini-put nation that has been used as an example, scaring the world to instant action, using not only dramatic description but also strong visual effects, how their existence as a future tourist nation is threatened. I do believe it's plausible they have a problem, but the real reason I'm not so sure. After all, they are located at the most active region, not only for volcanic activities, tsunamis and earthquakes, but also for corruption. I have asked many of the locals on the islands surrounding this mini-put nation, and I find it interesting that the people I have met living in the same region but on different islands don't share this fear. And in many ways you could say that even Vanuatu is basically flipping the middle finger to it all, building and developing the beachfront all over the place, just like Fiji, Tonga and other islands I have visited. Corruption is a problem throughout the Pacific, and to some this could be one explanation. On the other side of the table there has been a tsunami of scandals, including corruption and even worse, giving the opposite side just as many arguments against this story. To me this looks now more like religion, as it not to be debated. Some believe and some do not. Once again I've landed on corruption as the biggest global threat. We can't fix anything before the real problem is addressed. And since I could not solve the world's problem with only one beer, I think it's time to get another one. The atmosphere is good here, and in many ways Port Vila reminds me a bit about one of the friendliest islands in the Caribbean. Maybe a mix between Grenada and Carriacou. And also here everyone speaks English, so it's easy to communicate and to learn about their lifestyle. I'm starting to like it here. Still, I can't let go of the surprises with big shopping malls, with indoor parking and lots of fast food and pizza bakers. So it's far from what I expected, without saying this is bad. The surprises are only a result of my happy-go-lucky experience, and I would say once again, I have been lucky. So I heard some rumors that this place actually is owned and run by some Norwegians. So let's find out. Og her Petter.
Hei, hei.
Du eier dette stedet?
Ja, jeg og kona har det her stedet her sammen. Så vi kom i januar 20 og begynte å bygge. Så nå har vi vært åpen ca. 2 år.
Det er helt fantastisk. I Vanuatu så treffer jeg nordmenn. Og dette har de tegnet og bygd selv. Jeg er så heldig at jeg skal få en liten omvisning, så får vi se hva de holder på med her.
Her har vi restauranten og kjøkkenet.
Ja, så når dere har gjester, serverer dere frokost og middag og sånn?
Så har vi en egen kokk.
Ja.
Vi har fått en kokk nå.
Så deilig.
Så, ja, en italiener, så det er mye middelhavsmat.
Fantastisk. Oi, se her da. No guest here at the moment, as it's cyclone season. Still, I can imagine how good memories are made here. Very friendly couple running this place, sharing their passion for scuba diving with their guests. De har 4 sånne bungalower i hagen, og det er... Wow. Ja, det blir jo ikke mer tropisk standard enn det her.
Det er norsk kunst da.
Norsk kunst?
Gunnar S.
Fantastisk. Og se på det badet da.
Ja, alt er rullestolvennlig. Så alle mål og sånt er for rullestolbrukere.
Det er norsk livsløpsstandard.
Ja. Ja.
Jeg har bygd hus før, skjønner du.
Ja. Når vi bodde, mens vi bygde, så tok vi den her ferdig først. Ja. Så bodde vi her, og hver kveld. Og så et fly!
Treningssenter?
Treningssenter, ja.
Aha.
Og det andre huset, det er vi bygde det til kokken. Så vi har liksom han
innkvartert
her.
Ja. Som fantastisk. What a privilege to meet such interesting and friendly Norwegians that have built their new lifestyle here in Vanuatu. This island for sure have a lot to offer and is starting to reveal some of its beauty for me. The contrast between rich and poor is enormous, and you don't need to travel far from here to find people living almost like they did decades ago. Unfortunately, it's cyclone season and this is only a bonus stop. So no matter how much I now feel I should see more, I have to start planning my onward journey. I'm still hoping to catch the tail of Jasper, getting a fast sail towards west. So make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell not to miss this adventure. Thank you so much for watching and all your support. A special thanks to all my patrons that makes it possible for me to upload these videos. Much love from me on Be Free.